Gotham was used to chaos. Sirens wailing in the early morning, the flicker of blue and red lights, the shadow of Batman somewhere overhead. This was business as usual. But lately, business had been anything but usual, because the two loudest, most extravagant criminals of the city had decided it was time for a turf war. And when Joker and Penguin go to war, it's not a subtle affair. It started the way these things often do, with a joke. Joker, crimson grin, painted wider than ever, walked straight into Iceberg Lounge in the middle of Penguin's latest respectable gala. Not a laugh in the house. Even the music stopped. Joker sashayed right up to the buffet, plucked an olive from the tray, and, with a bow so deep it could have been mocking, told Penguin that his parties were almost as dull as his wardrobe. If you know Oswald Cobblepot, you know that is the only invitation he needs to bring out the goons. Within seconds, Joker had 3 umbrellas aimed at his head, but the dancing criminal, of course, was holding a gifta neatly wrapped box covered in polka dot paper. "For you, Ozzy," he crowed, tossing it underhand. A second later, the box opened, releasing a flurry of confetti and a single, tiny flag reading, "Boom." Except it didn't boom, it just spun around and spat out a small white card. "Next time, the punchline will hurt." Joker winked and strolled out, unmolested. Insult on top of invasion. That's how the feud began. Penguin, for his part, was not one to let disrespect go unpunished. That very night, over glass after glass of his preferred scotch, he made a decision. It was time for Gotham to remember who ran the underground. Over the following week, shipments belonging to Joker's usual crew began disappearing. Explosives, clown masks, even his favorite flower lapel vanished from the city's warehouses. His lieutenants were found stuffed into dumpsters, every single one with a bottle of Penguin's signature umbrella-shaped champagne jammed under their arms. The message was as ostentatious as it was clear. Stay out, but jokes never die. Quiet Joker retaliated in grand fashion. One afternoon, Penguin's prized armored limousine sprouted chicken feathers from every panel, honking Yankee Doodle from hidden speakers as it clucked its way down Gotham's busiest street. No one was hurt, but the city stopped and stared. News outlets ran it on every screen. Penguin's humiliation was complete. And Joker? He sent Penguin a little note. "You started this dance, bird boy? Now let's see who laughs last." Both sides tightened security. Joker's crew, mostly sharp-toothed adults with a taste for flashy chaos, traded purple suits for body armor. At the Iceberg Lounge, Penguin installed new laser turrets and recruited every mercenary he could find, strictly adults. Every one of them. Then, the escalation. In the dead of night, Joker's team broke into Penguin's hidden vault underneath the Gotham Pier. They left behind nothing except a single playing card, Joker's calling card. But no theft this time. Instead, Penguin's entire stash of cash had been replaced with joke money. Bills printed with Penguin's own face, scribbled mustaches, and cartoonish dollar signs. To Penguin, it was a declaration of war. He struck back. On a rainy Thursday, Joker's hideout, a former funhouse on Harlow Street. No casualties. Joker's crew had been tipped off and were long gone. But Joker, surveying the smoking ruins in the morning light, seemed delighted. "He's making it interesting," he giggled. Of course, by now, Batman was circling, but even he knew, sometimes you let villains exhaust themselves. The climax came soon enough. Penguin announced a gala, a night of aristocratic ice, open only to Gotham's finest criminal adults. Everyone expected a trap. Joker, naturally, couldn't resist. He arrived dressed as the world's worst penguin, a black and white suit, a waddle, and a top hat far too tall. He greeted Oswald with a bow and a handshake, and, as the audience watched in horror, Joker's glove fizzed, spraying icy blue mist over Penguin, freezing the crime boss into a block of ice atop his own stage. Joker cackled. "Cool off, Birdman!" But Penguin's men were ready. Laser umbrellas locked onto the clown as gas flooded the room. Within minutes, both Joker and Penguin stood immobilized. side by side, one frozen in ice, the other knocked cold from sedative gas. Gotham's police, summoned by Batman's signal, closed in. This wasn't victory for either. It was spectacular double punchline. As Arkham's gates slammed shut on their latest guests, the city buzzed with speculation. Who won? The papers argued, but everyone knew the truth. There's never a real winner when chaos meets calculation. Not in Gotham, but soon enough, the next game would begin. Joker would laugh, Penguin would plot, and Gotham would brace itself for another night. Because in this city, there's nothing more dangerous than two grown men who think the show belongs to them. And somehow, they're both right.